Hello, people of the interwebs. I think I want to share you a funny story. So, I was commenting to someone about how badly we were being deceived, and I had proof of all that, even on a dark silent film, that these kids from the mid 1980s in a classroom were seeing. It was so intensely graphic and upsetting to them. Yep, so I quoted something that stood out with terrifying images or something like that. Just look at the box. And sometime a bit later, when I refreshed the page that I put in that citation link to, look at the red box. The words that I quoted are no longer there. They edited this because they were covering their asses. they really wanted to cover their asses and not let that person know what I know. And it's funny, like how Hillary Clinton had walked right into barking like a little dog and talking about the dog on her favorite campaign radio commercial. I made that funny video previously of Hillary barking at her lies after each lie that was being exposed to. Arf, 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 arf. I had too much fun making that video. Anyway, about these other guys that don't want me to know that they were monitoring me. They changed the text. Only people as sick as them would cover up something so shocking with something that's not. It's something that seems tranquil and pretty. Only crazy people would do that, in a sense. So they walked right into that too. And you know what? They can change whatever thing online they want, but they can't change what I've got printed on book pages. They can't change that. I have details of Cry of the Marsh, this movie, and they're so sick that they, the Overlords, quote, big brothers, or, I call them the Overlords because they are in control of everybody and they don't care about anyone, and they don't want you to know what I know and what Anita knows. Anita Hogg, who's mentioned in this book that I've got that describes this film. Only people as twisted as them would easily cover up the ugly truth in a lie, because that's what they do all day long, all night, every day, 24/7. Yeah, burning ducks, baby ducklings being burned alive in that yellow bulldozer trailer that's labeled American on the side and the camera zooming in. I don't even have to look at it in the book. I can remember it off memory. And that brutal message at the end. Yeah. If they can mess with me, then I can mess with them too. These deluded, twisted, despicable overlords of the government. Yep, two can play at that game. Gosh. Yep, so Anita Hodge and I know their dirty little secret. Yes, we know their dirty little secret, and they do not want us to tell it, but everyone should know, because we're in danger, we're in the middle of this spiritual warfare. Most of you don't even know it. Shall I go look through this book about what they intend to do with the kids in Common Core? Let me just look through their mindset here in the 12th chapter. You see, they want to remold the children into what they see fit, how they see fit. So they're into this psychological manipulation stuff. And here, the most important message of behavioral programs, regardless of the stated purpose of any particular strand, seems to be that the group is alpha. Parents are not alpha. The individual is not alpha. Authority figures, teachers or the police, for example, are not alpha. Certainly, a divine creator is not alpha. The group is alpha. What is the group alpha? Well, to me, I believe it also means the hive mind. Okay? They do not want to teach the kids on how they should be taught. Alright? And they don't want the parents involved in the kids' teachings at all. They want to split the family. It's really disturbing. It's disgusting. Like, for them, plural children are important. The kids of tomorrow, our future generation, that's important to them. But parents, not important. The individual child, not important. Well, because, here, let me read the summary back of the book. This is an incredible story of how one gutsy woman stood the whole education establishment on its head and forced a cabinet-level government agency to obey the law. What began as a simple citizen complaint against a local school district resulted in a massive investigation and cover-up of irregularities in the nation's education system dating as far back as 1965. Wow. Education bureaucrats in Pennsylvania never dreamed that they would one day be on the losing side of a fight against their Washington counterparts, whom they previously had imagined to be allies. Even less did officials in Washington dream they would be outmaneuvered into opening a Pandora's box of white papers, position papers, working papers, official memos, a appropriations, review boards, secure lists, and task forces that eventually would reveal one of the most unique and mind-boggling cases of misrepresentation in American history. Anita Hodge, that's H-O-G-E, herself did not expect to be declared winner in a case against the U.S. government, even before it went to court and before she had a chance to make her case public. And this was back in the 1980s. This psychological stuff happened back then. I was born in 1984, and when I grew up, I never ever had these disturbing, really uncomfortable tests and lessons, or have to see such a harsh film like that, or to be subliminally psychologically manipulated and all that crazy shit. Gosh. It's thanks to Anita Hodge. Not many people know about her. Why? Because the government did not want to make this case public. Nope. They've kept it from us. This book that I've got, it's not very well known, and it's by this woman. It's written, this case about Anita, my fellow underdog in freedom fighting, Beverly K. Eekman. This book was published in 1991. Hold on. About this author here. Let me find it. Ah, here we go. Beverly K. Eekman, a native of Washington, D.C., Beverly Eekman has a distinguished career in politics, education, and public affairs. And she was also an English teacher in the early 70s. And in 1984, she returned to politics. These are real people. Look them up. Anita's on Twitter. Hodge. Anita. H-O-G-E. Anita. Twitter.com. Go there soon, sometime, and look at her articles on Common Core. With the psychological stuff that I mentioned earlier. These guys are gonna do it again. Anita's victory had only delayed them. They're at it again, and it's going to be more severe this time. Well, if we let them win. No, you do not want your kid to be taught by any government person. No. Awful. Awful. They are awful people. So awful and disgusting. Seriously, look up Anita's stuff. In detail, she covers this. Yeah, we can't let these people push us around anymore. Can't let them, these tyrants, think they can do whatever they want with us. For so long, they've been doing this crap, this messed up stuff. I can't really go back and describe it. Not really. I don't want to. Just trust me on this. You can't trust the feds. You can't trust the mainstream media because they control the media. And the mainstream media shows you what the feds, the overlords, want you to see. Propaganda cocoon. You gotta realize. You gotta just think about what's going on. How something is wrong. You know it deep in your soul. And there's so much they've hidden from the masses. Oh boy. When I found out what they did when reading this book, I felt betrayed. Okay? I felt angry at them. I still am. And I'm not gonna shut up. I'm not gonna put up with their shit. I know what they're gonna do, what they're gonna try to do. I believe I know what they're gonna try to do with the kids. The collective hive mind. Remember, group alpha hive mind. Like, you know how ants and termites, they're like individual cogs of a whole. Yeah. Imagine the government turning these children into these compliant conscripts. Imagine our kids getting turned into that. Yeah. Scary. For the parents, for the families. And I'm not fearmonger here. I know my facts. I know what I've read. I know what I found out. And what they are intending to do, I believe, is something that's going to be really, really insane. Really, really crazy. But we gotta stick up. We gotta not allow this common core to happen. And spread the word. Spread the word that we're not being told the truth, that there are things being hidden from us. Like, I know most people don't know what happened after the FEMA trailer poison case. Well, first, I know I got the idea of what they were intending to do with those thousands of people and the trailers with the formaldehyde. And that stuff's like used as embalming fluid, used to preserve corpses. I think that's a clue as to what they were trying to do, but I'm not going to tell it for the monitoring bozos to know. Since they're so clever, since they're so sneaky and lying and deceiving, I'm going to leave them a word riddle. 2 words. Second letter of the first word is A. The last letter of the second word is E. Let them find that out. Let them scratch their heads and run around in circles and scrambling and stressing out. Let them figure it out. Well, I helped fight for us as the human species. It's because of them. Nothing is changing. History's repeating itself, and it seems like everything is going down a downward spiral. It's awful. So awful. Anyway. Yeah, I'll let those monitors. Yeah. Yep, I'll leave them to their scrambling and stressing and flipping out. Yeah, I can't allow myself to be too scared by them because they're cowards. There's more of us than there are of them. And it's because of those 2 words that I know that they want to do with us. It's what they tried to do with the FEMA trailers in 2007, but their cover-up failed. And some years later, I saw that 19-minute documentary. Yeah, really sad about people still living in them. This was uploaded in summer of last year, 2015. Yeah. Watch that and learn. The mainstream media did not do any coverage on this. This researcher, this anthropologist researcher, he tracked the trailers down by the vehicle identification number, VIN. Look it up and see what I mean. And there's so much more. Yup. So much more to think about when you stop to think about it. Anyway, that's enough. I gotta sleep. Good night. Good night, tyrants. Good night, overlords. Good night. Good night. Good night. Hope you stress well tonight.